we're standing here high above the Irish Green Liffey River.
That means the Travel Guys are in Dublin, Ireland, next. Hi, I'm Jim Gordon.
And I'm Darren Parkman.
And we are the Travel Guys.
Well, my friend, I'm seeing green, sure and begorra. That must mean we're on the Emerald Isle. Yes, this time we're back in Ireland. Don't you know?
Wonderful.
Don't you know?
Coming up, we'll visit the cities of Galway, Dublin, and the island of Inishmore. We will check out the sights and drink in the culture.
We'll also drink inside many pubs. We'll get all medieval when we check out historic Malahide Castle.
And this talented SOB beside me here
Thank you.
will bridge our two nations together when he gives us his version of river dancing.
There were some hand-eye coordination issues there.
The heart was in the right place, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All that and a lot more coming up, so stick around, don't you know? Well, if Ireland's famous for anything, it's got to be its castles, and we're checking out a pretty impressive one right now.
That's right, pal. About 45 minutes from Dublin, you'll find Malahide Castle, which was owned by the same family, the Talbot family, for 800 years.
I hear this thing's haunted.
Uh-oh.
Let's go check it out. Well, we're now inside the castle in a fabulous room called the Oak Room, which contains some of the most impressive medieval wall carvings in all of Ireland.
Yeah, what's great about this castle is that different rooms reflect different eras in history.
Yeah, a great example of what you're saying is this beautiful room we're in now, which dates back to the 16th century, decorated in the Georgian style.
Yeah, if you look on the walls, too, you'll see many of the Talbot family members in portraits.
We're a classy family.
You know, buddy, it's amazing to me that one family and one family only lived in this castle for 800 years.
It is pretty incredible, and you know, I'm sitting at the head of the table. You may have noticed.
Yes,
I feel
I
like the
noticed that,
king of the
yes.
castle right now. I feel like the king of the castle, and
What would that make me?
one of my lowly subjects.
Okay.
Well, now, my friend, you're lucky enough to be my guest here at the Great Hall.
Yeah, you're taking this king's chair pretty seriously, aren't you?
I could have you beheaded, you know. I could.
Sure you could.
Yeah.
One of the really cool things about this castle, you probably didn't know this, is that there have been many ghost sightings. It's haunted.
It's haunted.
Yes. One of the great things about the city of Dublin is it's got many parks and squares. We're in one right now called Marion Square.
And the famous writer Oscar Wilde actually lived right across the street from the square, and there's a statue of him right behind us here. You know, you hear a lot about Oscar Wilde. You never hear enough about his wife, though. You know, I bet his wife would have been so proud of this tribute. You know. Oh.
So, buddy, your thoughts on this wonderful fair city?
First of all, it's a little cloudy.
Yeah.
There's been some Guinness drinking. But
Yes.
I have to say, I forgot how beautiful it is. The architecture is that typical European style. Very clean city.
Yeah.
People are friendly. What do you think?
I agree with you. We have not been here in about 7-8 years, but I love the mixture of, you know, architecture that could be 500-600 years old with new. It's definitely a vibrant, world-class city.
And they even got their own monorail. Look over here. Oh, Jim,
Yes, sir.
I've got excellent news.
What's that?
Well, it's time for some cheap Irish stereotypes and bad visual effects.
Uh-oh.
I'll direct your attention right down here. Look at this cute little lovable
Oh,
character.
boy,
Yes, it's
excellent.
Lenny the leprechaun. Look at him. Look, he's doing a little dance down there.
He's doing everything that stereotypes do. That's
Hey,
right.
little fella. Hey, I've got another one of my poignant observations here.
Poignant, they always are. What is
Yes.
it?
You know, Ireland's known for green.
Yeah.
Even the rivers are green in Ireland. Look at that.
What's the name of this river?
This is the Liffey River. It separates North and South Dublin. But look how green it is.
Very green.
Just like the Irish.
Well, Parker and I have classed it up a little bit with some suit jackets for a lovely evening out here at Gallagher's Boxty House. We're here with Porrick, the owner. Thanks for having us tonight.
You're welcome, guys.
Cheers.
You're very welcome.
Porrick, great little venue here. If you had to recommend one Irish beer, what would it be? I'm drinking Beamish here, which is great.
I'm drinking Irish wine.
Irish wine?
Whiskey.
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 So if you're gonna
Red
have one beer in Ireland, make it whiskey.
I'm a redbreast, a good 12-year-old.
Cheers.
Paul, I got to ask you now, what is the meaning behind the name of the restaurant, Boxty? What does that
Well,
mean?
Boxty is a potato bread from the northwest of the country. So you've
Potato bread?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Made with about 66 to 70% potato.
Boxty's, I guess, your signature dish here, pretty much. And is it fair to call it kind of like an Irish burrito?
Traditionally, it would have been eaten on its own, but I've developed a made a thinner one. I fill it with different fillings like lamb, fish, and beef.
Beer, whiskey, and Boxty Irish burritos. Sounds like a good night to me.
Cheers, yes.
Launcha.
Well, it's kind of a windy, cool night here tonight. One of the things you got to do when you come to Dublin is you got to check out the Irish House Party here at the Irish House Pub.
House parties bring back good memories for me. Remember stealing Mum and Dad's booze from the liquor cabinet? Is it that kind of house party?
No, you're just going to hear some great traditional Irish music.
I hope they do whiskey in the jar.
They will.
Whack for my daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar.
Go, let's go.
Near tall towers where falcons build their nests. I couldn't fire the charges, so a prisoner I was taking mushroom down the Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
There is nothing like a Guinness on a cool Irish night, is there?
Well, you come to Dublin for this, I'm telling you right now.
Now, is there a law against us drinking on the street in public here in Dublin?
I would say there is, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We don't know for sure that there is, though.
But we're on television, so it's got to be okay.
Well, Dublin is steeped in history, and we are immersing ourselves in some of that history right now.
That's right, Val. We're here at world-famous Trinity College, which is located right in the middle of the city, and it was opened in, get this, 1592.
That's a long time ago.
It is.
Some very famous students actually attended this college, including Oscar Wilde and Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula. Probably the most popular attraction here at Trinity University has to be the Book of Kells, which is considered Ireland's national treasure.
And buddy, get this, written around 800 AD, it tells the story of the four Gospels.
We actually got inside, had a look at the book. It's in remarkably good condition for its age. We were not allowed to film it because the light affects the actual book itself, but all these people behind us lined up just to catch a glimpse of the book.
Well, now we're in one of the most amazing libraries you will ever see, called the Long Room.
And there is a ton of ancient books here. I've done a rough count. I'm going to say between 150 and 200 books right here.
Close, 200,000.
So I wasn't that far off.
No, not far off at all.
There's actually books here dating back to the 6th century. They even have a page from the oldest book ever, the Gutenberg Bible. Pretty impressive. Every day, 10 million glasses of Guinness are consumed around the world, half of which by us.
True. Yes.
And we're about to take a tour of the birthplace of the famous beer. It's the Guinness Storehouse in downtown Dublin.
That's right, buddy. They started making this fantastic beer in 1759. Where we are right now, buddy, they signed a 9,000-year lease back in the 18th century.
I don't want to be around when that lease is up.
No, that's going to be tough.
It's gonna be some negotiating, yeah.
Well, let's go see what's going on with Guinness.
And let's have a drink or two while we're at it.
I can talk to that.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, we've now found ourselves in the Guinness Academy. We're with the man himself who makes sure the beer is always flowing and always good. You're the brewmaster, I guess your title is? Yeah. Okay. Fergal Murray is your name.
That's it.
Yes, thank
Now,
you.
Fergal, I understand there's a bit of an art to pulling a proper pint. That's hard to say,
That
pulling
is,
a proper
it
pint,
is.
a lot of peas. There is a bit of an art to it, though. It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
What people who adore Guinness want is the fantastic look. They want to see it cascade surge, and they want to see that wonderful creamy head form and a dome across the top. To do that perfectly, the beer is designed to be delivered 119.5 seconds.
I had about 14 Guinnesses last night, and there was a lot of cascading and a lot of surging, actually.
Yeah.
Memory serves.
So that's exactly what happens.
We'll watch you pour this pint, then we're going to try it ourselves.
Okay,
here.
well, when I train people around the world, I want to make sure that they always be consistent. So consistency, there's 6 steps. Step 1, the glass. Step 2, into position.
This is very
Step
complicated.
3, nice and easy, delicate, and on the tap handle, keep the glass at an angle. Step 4,
Slowly there.
slowly straighten the glass. And as she comes to the top of the heart, we're going to slowly stop and let it then surge, settle, and cascade in front of the customer. Why don't you pour one while we're hanging out there? Just
All
get
right.
the position.
I'll try first here. Okay.
Get a little closer. Okay, go
Right there?
for it.
Okay, here we go.
Into the target.
No, not like that. Like this. Okay.
Wow, you become
Yeah.
the expert now. Straighten it out now.
There we go. And now as it comes to the top of the heart, slowly stop. Hit the target. Excellent. Keep the glass at an angle.
I'm a pint puller.
He's nearly there. And you bring it back. And in step 5, holding it straight, we just push the tap away and we just bring the liquid nice and proud of the rim.
Perfect.
Step 6, we just make sure that always goes out to the customers.
Delicious.
Darren, you've well done. Listen, I want to present you with a certificate for pouring the perfect pint of Guinness.
I can't believe it. Wow.
You know, there's so many people I want to thank. I don't know where to begin.
And not everyone gets this award either. This is
no,
very
no,
unique.
only
No,
if you
no.
We're the
succeed.
first people ever to get this.
We've got the spirit.
Well, we cap things off up here on the 7th floor at the Gravity Bar.
And one of the great benefits of taking the Guinness tour is everyone who comes caps off the tour with a pint of the delicious nectar
Wow,
right behind
very
us.
nice.
There you go.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
All right, enjoy.
Cheers.
Sláinte, guys.
Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Cheers.
Well, if you want to escape the hustle and bustle of downtown Dublin, about 2.5 hours away is a great little secluded vacation spot near the town of Galway.
That's right, pal. We're on a ferry right now, heading over to one of the 3 Aran Islands. The biggest one is called Inishmore. That's where we're going.
Apparently a very secluded little spot, very beautiful. Looking forward to seeing it. But I have to say, even in spring, it's very cold in Ireland. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that this is a little unseasonably cold, but you're right. It's end of May right now, and it feels kind of like a winter's day, doesn't
I
it?
can't feel my fingers. I really can't.
One of the sites you have to check out on this island is a 2,500-year-old fort known as Doningus.
That is one old pile of rocks behind us there. Kind of cool. It's one of the larger forts that we've seen in Europe. It encompasses 14 acres, and it was situated up this high above the ocean to protect the island against enemies from long ago. Gotta tell you, we've seen some pretty gorgeous scenery all over the world, but pretty hard to top this.
Yeah, this is beautiful. A little windy, but still quite beautiful.
How high would you say we are up here? About 300 feet?
I'd say 300 or 400 feet, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, how's your fear of heights doing right now?
That's why I'm standing way over here.
Brisk day here on the
Yeah.
island. Gotta tell you, we've been to Ireland a couple of times. I had no idea that it had resort islands like this. Very resort-like, secluded, kind of intimate. A great place to come for a little getaway if you want some peace and quiet.
And a lot of wind.
And a lot of wind. Very windy here on the island, but a small population, only about 900 people. It's got a real kind of hometown feel to it.
Yeah, it does actually. You know, it's amazing. The only thing I knew of these islands, the Aran Islands, was that they're most known for these things called Aran sweaters.
You're kind of most known for your sweaters back at home.
I like
too,
to wear
aren't you?
sweaters at home.
You know, the ones like Archie Andrews used to wear?
Nothing wrong with those. Well, I think you'll agree that it's been a great day here on the island of Ennismuir. We're now at one of the great local spots called Tijowati's.
And we're wrapping up the day the way the Irish like to wrap up a day.
Yes.
Double-fisted, of course, with a delicious glass of red wine and an Irish coffee.
Their house specialty, yes.
Tilatash Julias Aiden Japanese Bukadet.
Thanks, Marianne. In Gaelic, that means more travel guides in Ireland. Coming up next, Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Well, our green tour continues. We're now in the city of Galway, and nice little city. Very European looking, only about 150,000 people, and yeah, kind of digging it here. I got the green hat on.
Yeah, yes.
So do you, actually.
I got a green hat on. Waving the flag here. You know what I love about the city too is you can spend a couple days here because it's very picturesque, but it's also close to a lot of well-known tourist attractions. So you're right perfectly close to a lot of things.
And not that far from Dublin, only, what, about 2.5 hours?
Yeah. Well, now it's time for a little thing we'd like to call Jim and Darren Meet the People.
Or as it's also known, approaching total strangers that would normally ignore us. Let's do it. What's the coolest thing about Ireland?
Oh, well, from a personal opinion, I think the Gaelic sports, Gaelic football and hurling.
You're a Gaelic football fan, eh?
Yeah.
Do you speak the Gaelic?
I really think the people is what makes Ireland the best. I think we're really welcoming to everybody.
You sure as hell are. I'll give you that. Yeah. The fact you're actually stopping and talking to me while it's raining says a lot.
Well, Cadagum Dulamat Jean Leffers.
Well, forget it. I'll never learn it.
The buildings are beautiful and the people are really nice, and I don't know, it's the whole vibe is different.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really folklore-y.
Greenery, beautiful women.
The Rolling Green Hills?
Guinness.
Greenery, girls, and Guinness. The 3 G's of Ireland, don't you know?
Well, one of the places you have to stop by for a pint and some food is the Porterhouse Brewing Company. We're here with Oliver Hughes, one of the owners. Thanks for hosting us tonight.
Not a problem, Jim.
Cheers.
Now, Oliver,
Sláinte.
Sláinte, you have a lot of beer here. That's an understatement. A lot of different beers here. How many varieties of the fine ale do you offer here at the Porterhouse?
Well, probably about 20, 30 on draft, and then about 200 in bottle.
I'd like to make my way through that list. Huh?
Very nice.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Now, you guys have been here a while too, so people know that when they come here, they know what they're getting, right?
Yeah, we opened in '96. We're the oldest microbrewery in Ireland.
And as a brewmaster, how many pints would you recommend that I knock back tonight?
Well, I think it's dangerous if you go above 12.
Okay, well, that's good sound advice. You know, when I think Ireland, I think pub crawl.
You know, when you think about waking up in the morning, you think pub crawl, don't you?
Something wrong with that?
No,
I
I'm
didn't
fine with
think
that.
so.
No.
With that in mind, I think it's time for a little something we like to call Jim and Darren's all-new Dublin pub crawl.
That's right, we're starting at the legendary Porterhouse Brewing Company, and we're having some of their own beer to kick things off. There's the pub crawl. Well, now we're in the heart of the Temple Bar District at a place called the Keys Bar.
Well, now we're in the heart of the Temple Bar District.
I just said that.
And where are we now? It was a little blurry. I couldn't read the sign.
That's all right. We're at a great pub called the Palace Bar, which was, now get this, opened in 1822.
And that's probably one of the younger pubs here in Ireland. Some of them are 1600s.
Yeah. But what's great about this place is that it refused to be modernized in the 50s, so everything here is original. The woodwork, the ceilings, everything, and of course the beer is great.
You've actually refused to be modernized, haven't you?
Well, I'm not going to be modernized. And
I've noticed you refuse
I was born shortly after
modernization.
1822, actually, yes.
Here's to you refusing to be modernized.
No, I'm not going to have that happen.
Cheers. This is something I actually haven't seen before in a bar here in Ireland. It's a VIP room, I guess you'd call it. It's called the Snog Room. Don't ask me why, but it's where you go to have like kind of a private drinking party. And I guess you gotta have the bucks to get in here.
Well, we don't, but we know friends that do.
We got some buddies there. Check it out. Why do they call it a Snog Room? Because it's small and yeah.
Yeah, well, these originated in Victorian times when women weren't allowed in bars, and so there'd be certain bars would be designed so that you could serve a woman, and if she was having a couple of drinks with her friends, or more importantly, if a man was sneaking a woman in here who shouldn't be here.
So you could actually have some fun here out of the public eye. Hence the name Snug Road.
Snug Road.
While we wrap up Jim and Darren's pub crawl at probably the most famous pub in all of Ireland and the oldest pub in all of Ireland, it's the Brazen Head.
I love when we can wrap up our pub crawl at a place that opened in 1198. That's not the time either, folks. We're talking about AD, 1198.
What's that, 900 years?
I think so. I'm too late in the game to count.
Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Well, it's almost time to say goodbye to the rolling green hills of one of our favorite countries.
But before we leave, as we always do, let's check out Jim and Darren's top 5 coolest things about Ireland.
Number 5.
Checking out ghostly Malahide Castle, which was owned by the same family for 800 years.
Which coincidentally is about how long I've been living in my parents' basement.
Number 4.
It's got to be drinking in the mile-high view high atop the Isle of Inishmore. Look at this.
Number 3.
Pulling the perfect pint at the Guinness Storehouse.
Cheers.
Number 2.
Pub crawling at the oldest pub in Ireland, the Brazen Head.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. And the number 1 coolest thing about our trip to Ireland.
It's got to be singing our favorite Irish drinking song, Whiskey in the Jar, at bar after bar after bar.
Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Nice. We'll see you next time on the Travel Guys.
Cheers to that.
Air transportation for the Travel Guys provided by Aer Lingus. Ground transportation provided by Ganter Chauffeur Drive. And hotel accommodations were provided by the House Hotel in Galway. On the island of Inishmore, the Pier House. And in Dublin, the Davenport Hotel.
If we get arrested, we can claim ignorance. We didn't know
We
that
are
you
ignorant.
weren't allowed to
so,
drink
no, we're
them.
ignorant anyway. So.
Well, you're ignorant. I know you had problems in school, but we could claim we didn't know that you weren't allowed to drink on the street.
Okay.
And for all we know, maybe you can drink on the street. Who knows? We are drinking on the street, aren't we?
are drinking on the
To
street.
drink it on the street.
To drink it on the street.
Drinking on the
Cheers.
street.
Yeah.